This video is about bow distribution, which means kind of how you arrange your bow. There are some previous videos in this bow series set. There's one on bow distribution, there's one on louds and softs, and I'm going to reference those. So I think bow series number 2 was the basic bow distribution. And in that video, what I talk about is keeping your bow the same speed the whole time. So in other words, if I'm playing quarter notes, when I play a half note, it's twice as much bow. And that's a really easy way to keep your sound even and consistent. But you can't do that all the time because of the way music is written. So that is the kind of bow distribution where your speed stays the same. The other kind of bow distribution is where the amount of bow stays the same. This one's harder because you have to vary both speed and pressure, which are the two things that control the louds and softs. So an example of that is when I have a long note followed by a quick note, and that pattern repeats. For example, something like this. And you can hear, even as I'm doing it, this was not super even in the sound the whole time because this is pretty tough to do. There is a PDF that goes along with this. I will write some of these rhythms down. I'm not going to write all of the exercises down, but I'll give you at least an idea of what I'm thinking when I'm doing them. So the first thing that I'm going to suggest is that you do 2 counts on a down bow and 1 count on an up bow. So we know that when a bow goes faster, it has a tendency to go louder, and that means the up bows are going to be quick. So if I map this on my finger, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm trying to start and end in the same place on the bow. So I'm trying to start here, 1, 2, 3, come back to that place, but not take any extra time, right? So I have to go slow, bow, fast, slow, bow, fast. And I really recommend this idea of mapping this with your finger to get a sense of the speed without worrying about the sound, without worrying about any of those kinds of things. Okay, so if I just do that, the speed version, you can hear that the up bows are poking out louder. So to counteract that, when we have this kind of uneven bow, we need to try to play heavier on the down bows and lighter on the up bows. So I'm going to go heavy bow, light, heavy bow, light. And you can stop between the bows when you're first figuring that out if you need to. Ideally, we want to try to do it without a stop in between by having smooth bows, but you may need to get your arm organized. You will notice I am not starting directly at the frog. I'm starting a little ways up so that I'm starting below the middle and I'm going to above the middle, but I'm sort of in general doing a wide range of middle of the bow. It's actually harder to do a lot of subtle things right at the frog, so we sort of save that for real heavy things. So don't go all the way to the frog, and don't go all the way to the tip till you get really good at doing this. So that was based on 3. Then the next one, which is a little harder, is based on 4. So if I have a total of 4 counts, I'm going to do 3 of them on my down bow. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And you can play scales this way. So good at doing this that your up bows sound lighter than your down bows, that's actually okay, because most of the time this kind of a rhythm, which you can see on the PDF, it's written a couple different ways. I'm going to write it as a dotted half note and a quarter, but I'll also write the sort of quicker version of it, which is a dotted quarter note and an eighth. This kind of rhythm needs to have more emphasis on the down bows, which are the beats. So if I do the quicker version, actually sounds good if my down bows, which are my beats, are a little bit heavier than my up bows. So work hard to try to push the bow fast and go light on that up bow as a way to start developing a more even sound when your bow is changing speeds. Good luck.